All right, guys, so we're going to keep things rolling here with our instructors course, okay? Training to teach, okay, African martial arts, right? So this is giving you guys really the basics, right? The foundations, the fundamentals for what makes Ijikadi different, what makes African martial arts unique, okay? So this is very, very important, okay? A lot of the same punches, kicks, a lot of the strikes are going to be very similar to what you see in other martial arts, okay? What makes what we do unique and different is a lot of our footwork movement and how we move, right? And how we defend, okay? So some of the punching and kicking would be very, very similar, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the striking aspect, although you will learn the basic strikes. However, we're going to spend a lot of time on the things that makes African martial arts unique, right? Keep in mind, Ijikadi is Pan-African, right? Meaning that we're focused on the unity of African people, right? Worldwide, globally, right? Wherever you are, we're focused on restoring our Black cultural identity, right? That was stolen, right? That was lost. And we're trying to reconnect and reconstruct that, right? Before slavery and colonialism, right? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reconnect past and present, right? And project into the future, right? And pass something down to the next generation, to the youth, okay? That's what's important. That's what matters. Ijikadi is a vehicle for liberation, okay? That's what we're focused on, okay? So keep that in mind. Remember that in everything that you do, okay? So now in this next lesson, right? Previously we talked about our Jinga, right? We've been moving in our Jinga. We learned how to turn in our Jinga, right? Now we're going to start picking our feet up, okay? Moving and stepping, right? Lifting our feet. Again, it's not the same as turning, right? So now we're actually moving closer, further away, side to side, that kind of thing, right? So this is real simple, okay? We get started first with a half step. If you think about walking, right? When you walk, you take a full step. What that means is one foot steps in front of the other. That's a full step. One foot steps in front of the other. Steps in front of the other, okay? You guys got it, right? So what we're going to do is, and you can take full steps in terms of fighting, right? No matter where you are, I can take a full step and come forward, okay? But right now, before we take full steps, we're going to take half steps, okay? What that means is my foot is not going to pass my other foot, okay? So I'm going to take a half step, okay? Half step, right? And I can take a half step close. I can take just a very small half step. Regardless, it's still a half step, okay? Whether I take it with my back leg or my front, this is a half step, right? And typically when we take a half step, we're stepping with both feet, right? So I'm going to do a half step, right? If I'm coming with my front leg. So if I want to approach my opponent and get closer to my opponent, I'm going to take a half step with my front leg, then a half step with my back leg, okay? The idea behind a half step is that you always want to move the closest foot first. So for example, if I happen to have my left leg forward, okay, and I want to come towards you, I'm going to move my left foot first, then my back foot, which is my right foot, okay? The reason for that is because we don't want our feet to get too close. So I want to come forward towards my opponent. I don't want to move my back foot first. Now my feet are close. I have a higher center of gravity, and it's much easier for my opponent to take me down and put me on my back, okay? So I want to keep a nice low center of gravity. So I want to move my front foot first, closest foot first to reach the target, okay? Then my back foot will come along with it. These are both half steps, okay? Now, the same thing applies when you're going lateral, right? Side to side, okay? Always move your closest foot. So if I want to go to my right, I move my right foot first, then my left, going to my left foot first, then right, no matter what posture I happen to be in. Again, this is all from the Jinga, right? From the Jinga, okay? Where you are. If I got my left foot forward, I can step in my Jinga. So now, as you guys are working your Jinga, right? As you guys are working your footwork, and I would spend time shadow boxing with your Jinga. Work on your pivots in your Jinga. Then work on step, 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 or just one half step. Just half step and come back. Half step, come back. Half step with your back leg, come back. There's going to be a purpose for this, okay? This half step from the back leg, okay? We use this for our pop step, okay? Where we half step and push off, okay? To come in towards our opponent, right? But you can still work this half step. I can half step back with one foot, okay? So you can half step, moving both feet, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, or in Swahili, moja and mbili, right? Or you can just half step with one foot, okay? And there's just one, right? Moja, right? Just one, okay? Or just one, okay? So that's essentially a half step. We're just learning how to crawl before we can walk, essentially, right? We're going side to side, forward to back. You can certainly go in diagonals as well, but start incorporating the half step into your Jinga, into your turns, and everything that you're doing in the Jinga. You can turn, 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 half step, half step, half step, or come back with your half step forward, half step back, okay? All those different directions, okay? Be creative and start incorporating this with your shadow boxing and your footwork.